Hello out there. My name is Allan. I'm club manager at Rappahannock Cellars, and I'm here with our July 2013 wine club selections. Both are new takes on styles that we released to you earlier this season. The first is our 2012 Fizzy Rosé, which earlier this year we released a traditional dry French style rosé, which is that sort of summertime sipper. It's bright, it's crisp, it's fresh, it's clean. This style spent a little bit of time in a pressurized beer tank, which added a little hint of fizz. It's pretty fun. Note that this isn't a Prosecco, this isn't a champagne. This is just something with a little pinch of fizz in it. And what that does is it, first of all, lowers the perception of sweetness. So this wine doesn't taste as sweet as our earlier rosé, which, keep in mind, was barely off dry. So what we're looking at here is almost a tart, kind of sweet tart watermelon-y feeling to it with a little bit of plum character. And of course that little bit of fizz does have that refreshing crispness on the finish. So it's a fun new style. And again, you get almost an identical nose to this wine as the previous rosé that we released earlier this year, but the palate, like a sweet tart watermelon. It just keeps coming to mind every time I taste this wine. Now last year was the first time that we tried this product, so this is our second vintage of this. And when we first kind of conceived the idea, all my 9 sisters were arguing and fighting to try and get recognition on the label, and they all wanted a part in naming it. Well, Elizabeth was the most vocal, so going with the same name that we came up with last year, we affectionately refer to this as the Fizzy Lizzy here around the winery. Next up we have our 2012 house style Chardonnay, or what I would call our house style Chardonnay. And what we had released to you a couple of months back was our low oak version of this wine. This is the second of 3 styles of different Chardonnays that you'll see coming from our 2012 vintage. The low oak, if you recall, is that bright, crisp, sharp, sort of French stainless steel style Chardonnay. This one is that medium body, medium butter, medium oak style Chardonnay. And coming to you later this year, our big California buttery, creamy, oaky style Chardonnay. What sets this wine apart from the 2011 vintage is a whole lot of extra good stuff on the nose and the palate. Just like the 2011 Chardonnay, you get that citrusy, sort of appley nose, but coming out of this 2012, just coming straight up out of the glass, is kind of like a coconutty, banana chip feel, which also comes through on the palate. It's really fun. Similar to the 2011, you get that sort of apple pie fruit entry. It's real soft, it's not overpowering, and that melds into sort of a soft, toasty, creamy, buttery backed palate. One of the things that you may not be familiar with is malolactic fermentation, and what that brings into this wine is that creamy, buttery finish. So in our first version, the low oak version, it didn't go through any ML, malolactic fermentation. This version went through 100% ML, and all that does is it takes that tart, crisp, citrusy acid that you had in the low oak version and turned it into that creamy acid that you sort of associate with your dairy products, that lactic acid. So malic acid turns into lactic acid, and that's how you get that sort of creamy, buttery finish to this. That'll get exaggerated with more time that the wine spends in barrel, and so you'll notice an even creamier, butterier feel in the next version of this 2012 Chardonnay that we'll have for you. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback on all 3 different styles of Chardonnay, so please leave your thoughts in the comments section. We'll look forward to having you out for Friday night flights this Friday, where you'll be able to taste this as well as that Fizzy Rosé there. And keep an eye out for a separate email that we'll be sending to club members about our anniversary weekend coming up with, hopefully we're trying to get a food truck out here and a live band on a new tent that we have set up out in the lawn. So looking forward to hearing from you. Enjoy the summer and enjoy these wines. Cheers.